welcome back to our channel. This is a special occasion because I'm doing it by myself because Paul is on vacation. He's actually here. I got the opportunity to see Aladdin. Let me give you a little bit of background. I love, in fact, Aladdin is probably my favorite Disney animation of all time, my number one. People have Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, but I really hold this movie, the animation, dear to my heart, as well as for my wife. It's her favorite animation as well. First off, I love this movie. In fact, me and my wife, we looked at each other when we were watching this. We were so happy. We had a smile on our face, and we were swept away by the magic of Aladdin, and we loved it. I thought it was on point with the animation. Now, we're gonna get into the good and the bad. I only have a couple things when it comes to this movie that is not, that's not good. That didn't work for me. But other than that, it was fine. We know this is the fifth animation live action that Disney made. I'm not sure. We'll check on that. My favorite so far has been Cinderella, which is starring Lily James and directed by one of my favorite director. His name's blanked. That was the best one out of all live action so far, and so I have to admit this one is up there with it, Aladdin. I don't quite put it over Cinderella because for me, when it comes to these live action, one of the amazing thing about the animation, there's those what I call the wow factor. Like for some reason, not all of them hit that mark for me. The only one that did was Cinderella, and it's the scene when she goes. She's already got her blue dress. Not mainly it's the scene. It was the music that really enhanced that scene for me, and so that's why I think Cinderella is still probably better than most of our live action, but Aladdin is right there, so I put it probably number 2. The beginning of the movie was so rushed. Like if you've seen this movie, you know how rushed it was. And at first I was watching, it's like, man, I hope it doesn't rush like this the entire film. And once it slowed down, that's when the movie got even better for me. Now, I'll come back why, even though I didn't like it, I understand why they did it. And so the beginning was a little rushed for me. The other thing I didn't like is if you watch all the Guy Ritchie films, they all have the similar his styles. And one of it came into this movie, and that is the slow motion. There was that dramatized, the dramatic pause for a certain scene, and you had to have that slow motion. It's Guy Ritchie, that's what he does, and there's certain scenes in there that it's just like, you don't need to be slow motion, I get it, this is your movie, you're the director, you don't have to put that in there, but he did. So there were certain ones that I'm just like, yeah, you don't need that in there. The things that worked for me, the things that made me love this movie, and first of all, let's get this out of the way. Genie was played by Robin Williams, which was very iconic character. By an iconic actor voicing this character. A lot of times people will compare. For this purposes, I can't compare them because I have a feeling that it's going to be a different style. I love Will Smith in this role. I thought he was great. I thought he was funny. I thought he worked for this movie. Now people will come and say they didn't like it, and because they were looking to compare to Robin Williams. I would recommend you just watch it, go in like I did and say, look, I'm here to see Will Smith portraying the genie, and that's all I can do. And you know what? It worked for me. I thought he was great. There's a scene in there with him and Aladdin. Aladdin was great too. I don't know his name, and I'm sorry. And also Jasmine was incredible in this one too, who is the actress name is Naomi Scott, I think. So she's been in Power Rangers, and she's going to be in the new Charlie's Angel, actually. I thought she was great. She's an amazing voice. She is a professional singer. And so all these characters that came alive in this movie, it all worked for me, and I thought they were fantastic. Even Jafar. People probably didn't like Jafar because they were thinking of this scrawny, tall with the beard. that might work in the animation, but I get why Guy Ritchie went the route that he went. He was a little younger, probably about the same age, maybe a little older than Jasmine and Aladdin, and he wasn't playing that type of Jafar in the animation. He was more of like a con man, a car salesman. He's trying to basically pump up his resume to become Sultan, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, he's trying to be Sultan. I thought it worked. I thought the way his portrayal of this character by this actor, which I don't know the name either, it worked and fit this film. And so I even the hit Jafar stuff I liked. The other thing that I love about this is the chemistry between all the characters. One of my favorite chemistry is between Aladdin and the genie. There's a scene in there that I thought the comedy was hilarious, and it's a scene after the Prince Ali number, and they all got into the castle and all standing there. The dialogue exchange between the characters were so funny, especially between Genie and Aladdin, and the little subtle jab, little subtle movement and voices that the Genie does. It just makes that scene even more funnier. And so the chemistry is there, especially. One of the iconic, when I talk about the wow factor, the iconic scene is A Whole New World, the carpet ride. And for me, the chemistry between Jasmine and Aladdin had to work. If it didn't work from the beginning, that scene would have been ruined. And I thought it was perfect. I didn't have tears, but I had goosebumps. And I thought, for sure, I was taken away in a magic carpet ride. It was wonderful. A Whole New World, that's one of my wife's favorite song, and it's a song that her and I sing all the time in the car, and so it was beautiful, and I thought the way they portrayed it was perfect. And so the character of the father, the king, the sultan, in the animation, he was such a buffoon. He was just this adult playing with toys and doesn't care about the affair of his city or his kingdom. In this one, he is different. In fact, him, Jasmine, and Jafar seems to be in line with what real life king and princess and advisor would do in real life. Is running the kingdom. Should we attack? What should we do with allies? These are things that weren't in the animation, but Guy Ritchie brought it into these characters, so it made the characters have even more layers in their development. I thought Jasmine was probably the strong point of this movie, because she isn't just some princess who sits around, twirl her hair, play with the tiger, Raja, and just wait for someone to marry her. She was actually involved with the affair of the kingdom. She wanted to make sure the people were happy. She wanted to have the people understand the people, what the needs are. She also understands what allies are out there. So she understands how to become so-and-so a sultan, even though the law in the movie says she can't. Now, in the movie, it never made sense to me how Aladdin could be sultan when he had no idea how to run a country. And all of a sudden, you're going to throw this title at him and he's going to do it. I'm glad the way Guy Ritchie made Jasmine the sultan and made her run the country make more sense and put more layers into her character. And I thought that works very well. Besides all of those things, everything else, look, it's a great film. Enjoy it. Go on a date with it, because it's it's magical. The music is awesome in this. The score. I've been talking to a lot of people, and they say that they didn't like the movie because it was too much similar to the original. And I'm like, wait, did we see the same movie? Because I get the story and the main plot had to be similar because it's an adaptation from the animation to live action. They weren't gonna. What did you expect? They weren't gonna make anything new. Although they did throw in some new what's it called? Sprinkling with some new stuff in there to change up the pace, to change up how the story unfold in their live action. Not better, but different from the animation. And so I don't know if it was exact same movie. I disagree with that. I think the plot is the same. Guy trying to get the lamp, be a princess, trying to impress a girl. That's the same. But the way they go about it, there was some new stuff in there thrown, some more layers for the character that Guy Ritchie added to these characters. And so exact same, maybe, but you know what? All their live action is the same except for one, and that is Maleficent, which they completely changed the whole story. This guy I was talking to, he was telling me that it was more of a cash grab. Look, every movie is in it to make money. It's a business. Yeah, okay, if you're gonna call it a cash grab, that's every movie. That's not. No movie goes in to want to lose money. If you want to call it a cash grab, sure. But to say that because of that reason it's not a good movie, well then you're looking at it a different perspective, because I don't see that at all. It made pretty good money and so, but if you're gonna call it a cash grab, sure. But that's the business of the movie. So, anyways, go check it out. I give this opening night. I think you guys would enjoy it. I mean, if I give this a number, I know Paul doesn't like it, but I give this probably 9 out of 10, to be honest. And so it's opening night. Go check it out. You will fall in love with Jasmine and Aladdin, and you go for a ride, on a carpet ride. Later, nerds.